this is Jackie Lee from InternetMarketingForMommies.com. We are taking the next step in finding keywords for a niche site, and right now we're going to dig into some of the niche ideas that we found in our last video. Okay, one of the ideas I saw was beach bikes for sale. So I thought we'd dig in and see if this would be actually a viable niche. Now we're looking for some more specific beach bike related keywords now. Black beach bike. Oh, okay, there's a good one. Got good search volume. Okay, beach bike Schwinn beach bike. That's a good one. We could look into further because we're going to want to look at the competition for each of these. But right now we're just looking to see if there's some keywords out there that we can use. A lot of beach bike week keywords. These keywords look like there's a lot for events and not so much for the beach bikes themselves. Best beach bike for sale, Trek beach bike. Those are good, but there's not a lot, right offhand. So I'd wonder if that's going to be a good one. Let's look for mountain bikes and see what happens. Alright, hardtail mountain bikes, specialized mountain bikes, giant mountain bikes. This is the kind of niche that you're looking for. Trek mountain bikes, Cannondale mountain bikes, full suspension mountain bikes. These are keywords. Now, whether these keywords are in the competitive range that we can use, I don't know yet. But look at this. There's tons and tons and tons of keywords that talk about mountain bikes. This is a niche worth exploring. Okay, so let's go and look at one of the other ones. Let's see, vintage mountain bikes, I think, or vintage bikes. Sorry. Vintage bikes is another one. Let's check and see what kind of keywords that has. Okay, vintage bike, cheap used, vintage bike sale, Yamaha vintage bikes, vintage racing bikes, motorbikes, vintage rally bikes, vintage dirt bikes. Vintage cruiser bikes. See, this might be a niche worth exploring as well. You've got quite a bit of John's vintage. I mean, the search volume is a little lower than the other one, than the mountain bike one, but this is pretty specific, and it might be worth looking at. Vintage Italian bikes. Wow, and see, there is no competition here for AdWords, so that's a good sign. Vintage style bikes, vintage bike racing, women's vintage bikes. So while the search volume is a little low, it might be worth looking into a little bit more because this is just a cursory check to see if there's some keywords available. You might find some really good stuff once you really dig in a little bit more and start looking a little farther. Okay, so that might be worth looking into. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig into the mountain bike niche and see what I can find. And we're going to start looking at some competition and building a list of keywords in the next video. So stay tuned. This is Jackie Lee from InternetMarketingForMommies.com, where we make internet marketing easy enough for everyone to take action.